I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. That's right. You're tuned in to the number one basketball podcast in the universe. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with my guys, my homies, my compadres, Evan. I got Lou here. And we have Christian, Pod Mamba, making sure that we continue to be the number one basketball podcast in the universe. We have a great show for you guys today. As always, it's an exciting time of year. We have the play-in. We have the playoffs starting as well too. We're going to talk about what this cutthroat business of the NBA is: coaches, GMs being fired left and right. And last but not least, we're going to get into these awards, these end of the year awards. But before we do any of that, we're going to slow it down for a minute and we're going to toast our guy, the Pod Mamba, Christian. His birthday is coming up, depending on when you listen to this podcast. So as we do on air, we want to give shout outs to Christian for his birthday. Christian, I want to thank you for being an excellent producer, for being you and staying authentically you at all times, despite the annoyances. But seriously, bro, thank you, man. Love working with you. Looking forward to working with you so many more years. And also, man, blessings. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I pray that you get the blessings that you deserve and that you enjoy your family and your loved one, man. Happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, Hans. That's all we need to hear. I don't need to hear
Happy
anything else.
birthday.
No, that's good.
No. It's all good.
I'm
We can just toast it up there.
I'm just playing. I'm just scared of what Lou's gonna say. Go ahead, Lou.
Oh man, nah,
reminisce about the
I'm gonna
time.
keep it short. Hey man, I ain't gonna do that to you. We're gonna keep it short and sweet. Hopefully, this glass of wine, gives you a good reminder of the times we spent together.
All right, that's
Hey.
enough. All right,
On the
that's
West
enough.
Coast, bro.
Hey.
Let's play the music off.
What you mean?
Let's play the music off.
What you mean?
I love it.
Oh, y'all not gonna play me off already? Anyway, shout out to you being the number one producer in the
Hey,
universe, man. Happy birthday,
Yes,
my
sir. Yes, sir.
I keep mine quick. Oftentimes I wake up at 5 in the morning and being 3 hours apart. One of the first things I think about is I wonder what Christian's doing at this time.
why you putting my business out there, dude?
That's all I got.
There's a lot of text messages I don't respond to because I want them to think I'm asleep.
Because you're self-conscious. I feel you.
Listen, man. He's
But,
up watching some type of anime.
Some type of
Relax.
something, right? But definitely a happy birthday to you, sir. Many, many more. Wishing you all the blessings in years to come. And happy to continue on this journey, on this ride with you. Definitely a happy birthday to you, my brother.
Thanks, my guys.
Yes, sir, man.
Thank you,
Toast
thank
it
you.
up. Toast it up. Toast it up.
You already know, man. Cheers to 33, my guy.
Yes, sir.
You know, my age like that. Come on, man. Come on.
All right, y'all. Let's get this show moving. I don't know if you guys noticed, man. This NBA cutthroat business. It's been real. I don't think since me watching, I've seen so many people dismiss so close together, all towards the end of the NBA season. Usually dismissals will probably happen during the summer or after, the finals or the playoffs or anything like that. But to see so many coaches just dismissed so close, some warranted, some very head scratching. The latest, Mike Malone, Budenholzer with Phoenix. We also have the GM, Griffin from the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone. And apparently, I think it's Dumars, right? He's going to be taking over. So you got Dumars taking over. But I know Mike Malone is been gone. Budenholzer, we kind of saw that coming. He's had a kind of turbulent, to put it nicely, relationship with all of his players. So most to me, that was the most justified one. If there's any of them, right, that are justifiable, like that to me was the most one. You're like, okay, that makes sense, right? We saw that one coming, but it brings up, and I'll start with you on this, Evan. It really brings up a good question. When you think about the firings of Taylor Jenkins, Mike Malone, of teams that are really contenders or very competitive anyway in playoff contention in their conferences, what it is from the front office perspective, what's the defining characteristic that you would look for, that they're looking for, that lets them know to pull the trigger? Like, when do you know to pull the trigger? What's the basis that they're looking for? What's the evidence? What is this grounded in? Because, like I said, I don't think I've seen this many firings of teams in contention this close to a playoff.
Well, that part that you mentioned, two parts is exactly what's make this year surprising more so than other years, is that we have two teams in the playoffs fire their coaches within 10 or 15 games of the playoffs starting. But the time of the year, I think, is part of what drives it. So the first thing being, normally you see coaches this last week after the season ends, you see the bottom feeder team, so to speak, let go of their coaches, right? And so I think teams, in the case of Memphis and Denver, in a way, they wanted to get in front of that, right? To be the first in the line for whatever the top coaches are that will be available, to get out there that, hey, there's prime jobs in front of these maybe less par jobs that are out there. And then I also think that although there are some bottom feeding teams, there really aren't as many situations where the coach isn't either new or things are going according to plan, right? You look at like a team like Washington that has new ownership, right? They're putting an identity together. Charlotte just hired their coach, although they were bad this year. Will
Very bad.
Hardy in Utah, yeah, very bad. Will Hardy in Utah, believe me, everything's going according to plan the way Danny
Oh,
Ainge wants to
yeah.
tank. Even what's his name, Ragnanovich in Toronto, they were better than expected this year. They wanted to tank more
They
than they
wanted to
wish they
tank,
could
yeah.
have. Yeah, so the teams that are really looking at making moves are the teams like the Memphises and the Denvers. And you ask why? It's because even though they're in position to get into the playoffs, they're not meeting expectations. When you have teams that are going backwards and there's not a clear identity of what's next, that's when I think ownership gets in the situation. It's like, when I can't see what the next step is, but I see our pendulum swinging the wrong way, we're making a move earlier rather than later because these windows are short.
Facts. It's just, I wonder, when you have a team in contention, do you have, as a coach, right? Do you have that paranoia of looking over your shoulder all the time? Are you more at ease if you're a bottom team with lower expectations versus a coach who has a team with higher expectations? So I'm thinking about uh Philly, right? With Nick Nurse. Is he on the block? Because Philly has not risen to expectations. So are you in more danger? And I'll throw this to you, Lou. Like, should coaches basically be more vigilant about their job and performance if they have a higher potential or perceived potential? Because we're talking about the
Man,
Pelicans
honestly,
too.
yeah, but I mean, realistically, we we can't we can't ignore the roles that GMs play in this, right? This is why you don't just get rid of Mike Malone. You got to get rid of Calvin Booth too, because what what difference does the roster look like, right? Since you guys won, and why haven't you guys gotten better, so to speak? right? You guys had an opportunity where you're probably supposed to be a top three team over the last 2 years, but why not? Uh, but at what point do you look at Michael Porter Jr. project? Do you say, is that enough? You see what's been going
Mm,
on with Jamal Murray. When you start thinking about the construction of your roster, it's only but so much the coach can do. You know, Mike Malone, he did what he needed to do in terms of bringing you a championship, especially after how Sacktown really did him dirty, right? So this was his redemption story. So I think he'll find a job pretty soon. Look, if Bunahau was able to find one shortly after Milwaukee, I think he will as well. But in terms of the GM conversation, this is why you have look at bringing in Joe Dumars over to New Orleans. We've seen what he's been able to do when being able to put together the Detroit Pistons, and how he ran that organization. Somebody that you could say is on par with somebody like Ainge, in terms of how they're able to um, build up the personnel for the team to be able to give the coaches their best opportunity for them to win as an organization. So, I mean, that's a big piece of it too. So we can't just negate. So, like some of these coaches, I think they'll find jobs shortly after. Budenholzer, I don't know, because after what happened in Milwaukee, though I don't think Phoenix is necessarily his fault, because I just think that's also a big piece of it is
your
you're
GM.
expecting a lot from players who may, yeah, your GM, and also players that really, let's be real, probably past the time of what you expected from them. So that's kind of like where I'm seeing the
Yeah.
the issues are right now. It's not just the coaches, it's GMs.
And thank you for bringing that up, man, because that's an excellent point. A lot of times we forget that the coaches, they do have some say so, but at the end of the day, the GMs are the one that's constructing the teams, right? They're the ones that are in there and draft and sending scouts out and are really ones moving the chess pieces on the table. So they need to be held to a higher standard. I think about
Look,
teams. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm just because as a fan of a team whose GM destroyed our dynasty because of his beef with the coach.
Yeah,
Trust me,
man.
I'm well versed in this.
You're well versed in GM. Lou has his secret GM ratings on his phone. He does his GM ratings. Make that a segment. Lou's GM
Absolutely.
ratings of the year. But no, you bring a great point, man, because if you think about it, right, they're the ones moving the chess piece. And I think about the delusions that the Phoenix GM is under. I don't know if you guys saw on social media his interview from the beginning of the season and his clip of him saying that there are 26 other teams right now who would love to have our roster right now in competition. And people are saying, where are these other 26 teams that you speak of? Are they in the NBA? Like
Oh
he's
my
looking
gosh,
pretty
man.
delusional right now. Go ahead, Ev. You look like you want to say
Stealing money.
Well, Denver is a very interesting case study because it really
I
drives
said
home the
Denver or
point.
Phoenix? Okay, go ahead.
No, well, you said Phoenix, but
Okay, cool.
the reason I said Denver is because it drives on the point of how in tandem the GM and the coach have to be. Even if you have success, if you don't have that synergy between the two of them, your situation can be undermined. A lot of what's going on in the league right now, and we see it in baseball a lot, we see it in the NBA a lot, is where the coach is an extension of the GM, who's almost an extension of the owner. And you have, it's not just the X's and O's on the court, it's the analytics department, it's the health, right? The physicians where they're managing rest and whatnot. It's a full comprehensive game plan of how the organization and the team is being ran. And in the case of Denver, you got an old school coach like Mike Malone. His dad's a lifelong coach, or pretty much a Hall of Fame high school coach in New York. Mike Malone comes from that
Mhm.
ilk of I'm the guy, I coach the players. You don't tell me what to do. He wanted his veterans in because he's won a championship with veterans.
Mm-hmm.
The GM's like, I've drafted these young guys. I know they're good. You need to play them. And both of them are too vocal about it. So the owner's looking at it like neither one of you are being adults in this situation. And ultimately, it's my team, it's neither of y'all's team. So then the owner makes the decision that he makes. And I think the GM gets cut too because The GM has been so married to these players that the owner can't trust that the GM will give an
Mm,
unbiased
It's
analysis of these players
exactly,
he's been begging to get on the
exactly,
court.
very
So
astute
exactly.
analysis, man. That's why we're the number one basketball. Listen, man, astute analysis over here, man.
listen here.
Astute analysis, man. Look at
Hey,
that,
man.
man.
So
Bringing
that's why
about
I
the
think,
leadership.
and listen,
Man, bring it
that's
full circle.
yeah, that's how these things play. So that's why you see a situation like Portland when you see Chauncey Billups get the extension a month after the GM gets in the extension, right?
Shout out to my
You got
Blazers, man.
listen, I'm about to give y'all props. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
my
man. Go
best.
ahead,
All
man.
right.
Go ahead, man.
You
I
got a
got you though if you
situ
need help.
I, you got a situation there where yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but they overachieved for their roster. You
Yes,
saw
the injured
development from
roster too. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah.
My bad. My
You
bad.
saw development from Scoot. You saw development from Shaden Sharp, and I'm sure the GM is like, look, I picked these guys. You got to make them look good,
Hmm.
Chauncey. I traded for Denny Avdia. You got to make him look good, Chauncey. And Chauncey did a thing, and Chauncey probably also bought in both internally and publicly as well. So an owner is able to look and see, okay, I've got a collaborative unit with a vision. And so I think
Yeah,
that's what owners want to see because these are business people at the end of the day. They need to see there's a
yeah,
collaborative vision at stake. And when they see disconnect between that, it doesn't matter how quote unquote successful it's been. It's not just the wins and losses.
yeah.
It's the
But
unit
then
journey.
you're protecting your asset. If you're at Denver, what do I need to do to remedy this shit before I lose somebody like Joker? I'm not ready to
Yeah.
lose them, right?
Yeah.
So what do I do to make sure that I can make this? Same thing. Look at over in Milwaukee. What can we do to make sure that we keep Giannis? We go get Dame. So at the end of the day, you can say we've made these certain moves to keep our biggest investment.
Mhm.
Now, yo, sorry, the coach got to go. The coach has to go. I mean, and if it means the GM has to go because they're not helping, right? The player doesn't feel like the organization is listening to them getting the pieces. And then when you make that, you got to get the GM to go. And like in the worst case scenario where neither of them look like they're working out, you clean our house up top, and you protect who it is that fills your seats. Because
Hey,
if Joker wasn't there, who's going to Denver to watch?
that's true. Hey, man, another astute man. Listen, man, we rocking out. I don't know if it's Christian's birthday or something, man. That's why we rocking out. But listen, man, we
It's
out
the
here.
drinks.
It's the drinks. All right, y'all. Before we close this out, I do want to say something on record. Talk about my Blazers real quick. I do want to apologize. No, because I've been very critical of Chauncey Billups. I'm not going to
Of Chauncey
apologize for being
Billups. Yep.
critical,
I was
but
waiting
I'm
on
going
this
to
one.
give
Yep.
him his props for turning that corner. And I don't know if it's what Ev said, like maybe he bought in and him and the GM came to a, hey, come to Jesus, look, work with what you got. Stop trying to be like something we're not anymore, because that's what it was. Seems like the Blazers were searching for their identity. And I will give Chauncey credit, man. They've dug in. And if you watch Blazers games, which I know most of y'all don't, I do. It's okay. That's fine. I don't judge you. I do. It's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know who Denny is. I know who Denny is, though. He gave the Hawks a triple dub. I know who he is. I know who Shaden
Look,
is. You know what I'm
I
saying? Kristen don't
watch.
know who Denny is.
I
He
watch
thought he
it
was
to
a
you.
rookie. But
Go ahead.
look, we're not gonna go there.
He,
But it goes to
Hey
say,
yo, relax, bro. Relax.
I'm just saying, man. He thought he was a rookie, man.
I
Relax. You
did.
need to relax.
I'm gonna yeah. I'll let you have that. I did think he was a rookie.
But I say that to say though, I think there's so much that we don't see. All we see is the encore presentation, right? Just like with any
hmm
business out here, any corporation, we just see the product that they're selling, the product that they're giving us, and we don't realize the complexities of what it takes to bring forth that product. And what you guys brought out, number one, leadership has to be on the same page, right? Eva was saying they got to be in sync, they got to be doing right. Lou is saying, look, you need to recognize what your product is and preserve and protect that product, right? So although the trends may ebb and flow, you still need to protect that product, man. But I think those were great points. Shout out to those front offices for making those gutsy and bold moves, because the firing, especially Mike Malone, Taylor, those were bold moves. You get what I'm saying? Those were very bold moves. Shout out to them for doing it and trying to give us a better product, guys. So let's move on to the next topic, which is the play-in tournament, man. We're here, y'all. Regular season is over. Christian hit the buzzer on the regular season. It's over. We're done with 82 games out the door. Now we're in for this play-in. For those who don't know or who I don't know what y'all been doing, but on the West Coast, we have the Kings and the Mavs playing each other for that possible 8th seed, and then you have the Warriors and the Grizzlies, which is a crazy, crazy matchup, man. A wild matchup, I will have to say. I think that's the premier matchup of the play-in.
I'm looking forward to that.
Right, yeah, I think that's the premier matchup of the play-in. And then on the East Coast side, we have Lose Bulls versus the Miami Heat. Okay,
the true premier matchup.
There you go, Luz. Okay. Talk your talk, my brother. Talk your talk,
like
brother.
Shake.
Come on.
Then we got Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. Let's jump into the premier matchup, y'all. Let's talk about these Golden State Warriors, Memphis Grizzlies. A little bit backstep, though. I'm sorry, y'all. That was an exciting end to the regular season watching that, right? Seeing on the west side of it, the East Coast games, we already knew what they were a couple days before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the West, just to know that the Memphis game, the Timberwolves game, the Clippers and Golden State, they all had, they just mattered. They mattered, and you saw excellent competitive basketball till the end, especially that Golden State Clipper game, wild game. So shout out to Adam Silver for putting the play-in tournament, man. It's working. It's giving us competitive basketball, and we're happy and here to see it. But let's talk about this Memphis Golden State Warriors, man. So the Golden State Warriors, they lose to the Clippers, who we're going to have to talk about sooner or later, y'all. But I'll let Christian cook. It's his birthday. I'll let Christian cook. It's his birthday, man. I'll let him cook. You know, it's his birthday. But the Golden State Warriors and the Clippers matchup game, that was awesome. Golden State lost. Now it's Memphis, man. So Golden State goes down to 7. Memphis is 8. What are y'all thinking? I'll start with you, Ev. I know you're a Ja fan, so you've been rubbing your hands together, man, waiting for this. He got his 12 jersey on underneath his shirt right now, man. Go ahead, man. What you looking for in this matchup, bro?
Call 12.
So I'm gonna do my best to pretend that the game's not over right here while we're recording, because we're professionals, okay? We're professionals. but let me say this, all right? The whole world is picking Golden State. I've heard so many podcasts that have already given Golden State the 7th seed, saying that it's between Memphis, Sacramento, and Dallas for the 8th seed, right?
Oh, wow.
Memphis eliminated Golden State from the play-in in 2021. In 2022, they had that fantastic whoop that trick series in the playoffs. Golden State wins en route to the finals.
That was a lit playoffs, by the way. That was a lit playoffs.
3 weeks ago, Draymond Green becomes Mother Teresa and has an aneurysm on the court because Ja Morant is celebrating, and the league wants to single out one finger gun celebration over 10,500 that took place throughout the rest of the year.
Talk your talk, man.
So good, man. Ja, you just dropping grenades.
Memphis coach is fired. Nobody's giving Memphis a chance. We're at year 5 of the new grit and grind. If there's any pride left in this team, they stand up on Chase Center's court tonight and drop grenades on everybody. So that's what I'm here to see. That's what I'm here to see. Is there
should have been in the locker room giving that?
Is there enough readiness and pride left in this team? All right. Everybody's stepping on them. Man.
Yo, Evan out here sounding like Lindsey Hunter. All right.
Listen, with glee, everybody's stepping on them, man. Will Memphis step up tonight and set themselves up for a favorable matchup with the Houston Rockets if they win tonight? Because that's really what's at stake tonight. Nobody wants the AC.
You don't want to play this.
So if you want to give yourself a chance in these playoffs, Whether you Memphis or Golden State, you win this game tonight.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie though, Lou. I know that Memphis Rockets. That'd be a good matchup. That'd be theater too. You got Dylan
Great
Brooks who
matchup.
used to play from
I
there. Like
know.
Oh no, it would be a
it'd be
great
some
matchup.
theater
I'm looking
there.
forward to. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I mean, it would definitely some
I
pure
mean,
YN matchup, man. I'm here
yeah.
for that.
I'm here for it. So I'll say this though. I'll say this. I think that out of the two teams, Golden State has the most pressure on them to win this game. Therefore, I think Memphis can play more free and more loose with it because they're
Oh
the
yeah,
underdog, right?
especially your coach just got fired.
You know, nobody's expecting them, so they're going to be able to
Go
play
for
more
it.
more free and loose. Golden State just came off that hard of a game 7 like loss, and now they got to go in and get more pressure. And let's be real, people have been gloating about this Jimmy Butler acquisition, right? And telling you the stats and
Mhm.
how they've gotten better defensively and how they've been one of the hottest teams in the league since that acquisition. That acquisition might be the best acquisition this year, et cetera, giving the Golden State Warriors all these accolades. But
Yeah,
yet and still, you fall into the play-in, right? And you're fighting for your life here. So I think that Golden State has more pressure on them. But as the season team, I can't count them out, Ev.
that's
They have the
exactly why you can't.
experience to play in that, man. I can't count
Yep.
them out, Lou. What you thinking, man?
Look, I hate it had to be this matchup. You know what I mean? But it's what we're gonna see now is um, a young team that's gonna dig deep, and are they gonna? Because the thing is, if you're Memphis, what do you play for? Do you think you can make a deep run? I think Golden State feels like they have hope, at least, that they could get to the second round. You know what I mean? You're riding off of this. Hey, we got the experience, we got the pedigree, championship pedigree, and we just brought over Jimmy Buckets. We're seeing what Jimmy was able to do with a ragtag Miami team. Where are they now? Look what we can do right here with these guys. And I think they feel like they have something to prove. So it's going to be tough for Memphis. It's going to be tough for Memphis. Can they stop when Steph is going off on a run, doing an awful flurry? If
He's going on a run now.
playoff Jimmy pulls up, you know what I'm saying? If playoff Jimmy shows up, then what do? Your young guys and Moody, Kaminga, if they actually start to look like the pieces that you expected them to do, what do? Right? Edie is cool. I think he's been a solid rookie, but what I mean, is he going to move the needle for you? I think it's if anything, man, John, the rest of the Grizzlies, they're playing for pride, so I think they'll make it a formidable game. Who wins? I don't know if I have that prediction in mind, but I lean towards Golden State just because of the experience and the pieces that they have.
Go ahead, Ed. Before we move on to the next bracket, go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna move it for you because I'm gonna flip the question on you. You get to ask so many questions. I'm gonna give you a chance to land the plane
Oh,
for
go
a
ahead, man.
second.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Is this game here truly the 7th and 8th seed in the West? Is there any chance that the Kings or the Mavericks have a chance to crack these playoffs, or is it just these two teams right here?
No, I honestly do believe that the Kings or the Mavericks do have an honest shot. Just because if you look at it, I know you're not gonna like this. I think Golden State is a true 7 seed. I think they're talented enough. They have the pedigree, the experience, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and Sabonis, you get what I mean? Like they could really summon something up and give you one game. The issue I have with that is, do you really want to watch a playoff series with said team, right? And that's what it is. I think they can give you that one game. AD, he can give you one game, right? Where he goes bonkers and gets you in. But do you want to watch that for the series? If I had to choose, I'd rather watch a series with Ja than watch a series that's going to be up and down with the other teams. Because as we saw, and I'm sorry, Lou, with the Bulls, the Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, it has its ups and downs. It has its ups and downs.
Hey,
You
I'm
know,
I'm here.
no shade.
I
I'm just
agree.
saying it has its ups and downs. Sometimes it
Not
looks
at all.
great, right? It gives you hope. You're like, oh, listen, we're onto something here. And it's like, what happened here?
Look, I don't know what Sacramento thought that they could do that we couldn't, but it's their issue now.
Was that before
It's
or
their issue
after Mike Brown, though? Maybe they thought Mike Brown was the difference maker, but then they got rid of Mike Brown.
after.
So I don't know. But
Like
anyway,
my man said, it's above me now.
it's above me now. Right. So I don't know, man. But let's move on. Real quick though, the matchup between the Orlando Magic and the Hawks, the Magic won 120-95. So they're moving on. They're the 7th seed, and the Hawks will have to play the winner of the Bulls and the Heat. So just a quick update on that. Ev, you brought it up. What do you guys think of this Dallas Sacramento matchup? Who do you think has it? Who's pulling through?
I think the fact that we have a Dallas Sacramento matchup is the reason that Mike Budenholzer is fired. Both of these teams tried their best to give away the 9th and 10th seed over the last month of the season. And Phoenix said, you will not be worse than us no matter how hard you try.
Hold my beer.
So honestly, like I don't see any of these teams. I'm with you. I don't want to see either of these teams in the playoffs, to be honest with you. Dallas just, I mean, without Kyrie, they just don't have any perimeter activity. And unless we're getting 2018 Anthony Davis, I mean, why waste everybody's time? And Sacramento, they're just a collection of parts that don't fit. It's like you go to the junkyard and you can find a nice radiator, but you're gonna have to dig for it. You know, there's some nice pieces out there, but there's no nice cars out there. So
bunch of nice Legos that don't go together.
Exactly. A bunch of scattered Lego sets. That's exactly what they are. So yeah, hopefully we see Memphis and Golden State, and we don't have to deal with either one of those teams. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Yeah, very much so. Let's move on to the east side of things. So, Lou, let's start off with you, man. What's going on with the Bulls, man? They gonna pull through with this Miami Heat?
We beat the Heat every game this season. We can move on.
Say less. Moving on to the next bracket, man. Listen, talk that
playoffs.
man. Talk that talk, Lou. Listen, man. Lou said nothing changes.
We're looking forward to playing the Hawks. Nothing changes, man. Looking forward to playing the Hawks.
Nothing changes. Man. Okay.
Talking about a defeated and deflated Miami Heat, bro. They just might as well just get the yacht ready on the dock. You know what I mean? Post game, just head to Cancun, baby.
Rose and Cali, ready to go.
Let's go. All right, y'all. Let's talk about this playoff stuff. We're done with the playing. Let's talk about these playoff matchups, man. Ooh,
watch Tyler Hero just drop like 40 points on the Bulls and just win.
Just clip that. Just clip that right there if the game doesn't go.
Bam's going to develop a drop step and just go crazy.
Bam just turns into like prime Hakeem Olajuwon and just like
I know. So get his shit be in. Oh man.
Josh Giddey just shoots like 3 for 15.
Oh man, that's gonna be crazy.
I mean, Josh Giddey.
Man, that'd be so
I was gonna let it go, but I caught you there.
Wow, this guy's wild on his birthday. That wine hitting good. All right, let's talk about these playoff matchups, guys. Let's stick to the East since we were last there, and I'm gonna talk about the ones that matter to us, guys. That's why we're the number one podcast, because we stick to us authentically. And I'm gonna put it out there, man. Yo, Ev, are you gonna have a towel with you to wipe the sweat off your head during this Knicks Detroit matchup, man? Detroit,
I'm looking forward to that one.
They are a solid team. They've turned around their season. They went from 14 games, 15 games or so last season to now they're a playoff team, considerably in there. Not a playoff team. They're looking solid on both sides of the ball. Rated top 10, I think, defensively, offensively as well. Ev, is this the matchup that scares you the most?
Not at all. So you asked me about a towel to wipe off the sweat. Let me be clear. Watching the Knicks in the playoffs these last 4 years, we are experts at making series closer and more difficult than they need to be. So I don't need a towel for what I already know will be unnecessarily tense. Okay. Now, with that said, you mentioned YNs earlier. Get these YNs out of here, okay? I'm not worried about
What?
Detroit
No,
Pistons.
no love for Cade's breakout year.
Listen, I respect
I was
K's
about to
breakout
say, you got
year,
no
okay?
respect for K balling out here, man.
Listen.
Tobias ain't completely a YN, man. He's an old
I
head there.
call that's fair. That's fair. I call
At least
Cade
Easy ain't a
Yo,
breakout year
you
YN.
come
before it
on,
happened.
Isaiah Stewart. You don't think he gonna
You know what they are? They
Willie
YNs
Cat?
to the playoffs, all right? That's
They
what they
YNs
are.
to play.
YNs to the playoffs, all right? They're new to this. They're not true to this yet. They're going to give us a series, don't get me wrong, but we're healthy. The last month, not having Jalen Brunson, best thing for us. Got Brunson some rest. We've had OGs break out over the past month.
You said
Mikael Bridges
break. Be
finally
careful
getting
saying
into the
that.
flow. Calm down now, to the flow of the offense. And Cat's been Cat, right? So we've been able to bring
You don't want
Brunson in
that,
the
though.
past week or so, and able to work him back in while
Hey, you
keeping the
honest, chill.
offense flowing. When this team is healthy, listen, we had the playoffs at this point. It is what it's going to be. When this team is healthy, the offense is top 2 in the league. So Detroit can't hang with that over the course of 7 games. So I'm not really concerned about them at this point.
So what you giving, man? What? Knicks and what?
It'll be 6
6.
because that's how we get. That's just how we do. It'll be 6. But
Okay.
my gut says 5, but the towel that I don't use says 6.
The Tyler, the 2 extra pair of t-shirts he has to change out of while he watches it says
Oh,
might
man.
go 6. I say Knicks and 7, man. I say Knicks and 7, man. Here's why I say
Nah,
Knicks
man.
and
I think
7, man.
I think if they
Go
go to
ahead.
7, bro, they lose it.
You think so? I
Yeah,
say
bro.
Knicks and
No,
You
7,
can't
we're
let
not
man.
them
gonna
get the
lose.
confidence.
We won't be 7. It might even be 5. Five in the Garden, but we'll take it to Detroit just to make. You know what? We'll take it to Detroit at 6. Just to make your boy. What's your boy from Detroit? Not Eminem, the one you like. The
I
other
like
one from
Eminem.
Eminem?
Detroit. Yeah, you like Eminem too. The
Roy,
other
You
one.
talk about Royce, the 5'9"?
Nah,
yeah.
Big
I,
Sean? Big
yeah,
Sean, the one you don't
that
like.
one,
Big
that
Sean.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to make him upset.
That
Just to do it in front of him.
That's fine. That's fine, man. I said what I said, man. Knicks and 7. Knicks and 7. All right, y'all. Let's move on to Pop Mama says let's go Detroit. Let's move on to another matchup in the East, y'all. Let's go on to the Milwaukee and the Pacers. Now, this, can we call it a rivalry? They've been beefing just
I'm about to
for
say, man.
years in the
They don't want to go
playoffs.
down this. They don't want to go back down this rabbit hole. It did not look good last time.
No, and you're right. And Milwaukee has been banged up the past couple playoffs. They're banged up now, but Giannis is playing great, MVP level. Some would say what, third in the MVP race behind Shea and Joker. And we are seeing that they are actually finding themselves an identity, but yet and still Indiana has had their number, man. You know how some teams just have your number? Remember that year when the Hornets were the Bobcats, and they just had the Lakers numbers. Like they just had the Lakers
Yeah,
number, you know?
Gerald Wallace and Steven Jackson.
They just had their number. So I think that'll be an interesting matchup. Also, there was reported today that Dame might be possible to come back. He's resuming basketball activity, but they're always gonna do the most cautious thing possible when it comes to blood clots. So I say just count him out. Giannis has been balling. What I love seeing is his assists are up. He's distributing the ball. Maybe Kuzma will have leveling up. Portis is back, so that's kind of made a difference offensively for them as well. People forget Brook Lopez was a decent guy in the center, right? He could give you points and defend the hoop as well too. So I wouldn't count them out. But we can't lie, man. Indiana's looking good. Their offense is back where it used to be. Halliburton is distributing. Pascal Siakam is doing his thing. What's his name? Name brand? Nim brand?
Nemhart.
Nimhart.
Never.
His
He's
name is
been
Name
balling.
Brand forevermore.
Name brand, yeah,
His
forever
name
name
is
brand.
Name Brand
Name
forevermore.
brand. He's been he's been really balling for them. So I don't know, man. I think that series will be interesting as well too.
I'm excited to see Giannis against the world, so to speak, in this series. Indiana, deep squad, healthy. Uh, no reason they should lose this series except for the fact that the best player in this series is on the other side. Uh, Giannis going 45, 15, and 8 over the course of a series to try to pull it out. I'm excited just to sit back and watch to see what lengths he goes to get through this series.
Got you. All right, y'all. We're running short on time. Let's roll over to the West Coast, West Side. Uh, let's talk about it, man. It's the Pop Mama's birthday. We got the Timberwolves and what, man? Timberwolves and what? 6, 5? What are we talking about, man?
Hey,
5, 5.
you talk about a 7-game series, okay?
What, this one go 9? This was
Listen,
going 9.
this one might go extra innings. All right, this listen.
Oh man.
I know. Well,
Oh man.
first off,
Is this what we're doing today?
Luca.
Is this what we're doing? We're just lying in today's episode?
I understand. I understand the Pod Mama's chestiness here, thinking that they got an easy draw. It's just
I
Minnesota.
don't think it's easy, but I also wouldn't say
I
that we're gonna
mean,
lose.
yeah, we read your celebrations on Sunday, the way the bracket laid out. Okay, that you were pretty happy the
My
way things
preferred
went.
matchup was Memphis, but
Yeah, he
plus we
wants
didn't get
Memphis
it.
bad.
We didn't
Okay.
get it.
And Julius Randle. That's all I'm saying. He's playing the best he's looked since before he got hurt with the Knicks last year. I've
Exactly.
seen this version of Julius before. Now I've also seen Julius Randle in the playoffs multiple times. So that's the best thing the Lakers have going for them. Okay.
Well, let me stop right there. And this is not just me being a Laker hater. You've seen Julius Randle when he's the best on that team, arguably. He's not the best
Mhm.
now. It's not his team. I will say this though, to give you credit, man. This is a matchup that works on both sides. Like if we really
Yeah.
had the time to kind of sit down, right, and tease it out, there's a counter for each
Yep.
because
Yep.
the best player on the floor, that's
Right.
debatable. Like that's debatable.
Well, if we
Like,
didn't spend 10 minutes on the Grizzlies, we could have talked about it anyways.
oh wow,
It sounds funny. It sounds funny to say, but like Luca and LeBron versus Ant and Julius Randle, like how far is the gap there, right? I mean, I think it's Luca. Don't get me wrong. Like how I feel about Luca. I'm excited to see them. But this is a fascinating one. One thing, can we get Rudy Gobert to stay home this series? I think wouldn't everybody agree if
we would
Rudy
love
just
it.
sat out this
We would
series?
love it.
Like
They need to do what Kerr did to Kaminga, coach's decision. Then I,
just
I would love that.
for all 7 to 9 of these games,
Or just have him get his quick fouls in the first quarter. Like,
just saying. I
just
Oh
think
get
man.
him out the way,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Get him out the way,
for
man.
both
Actually, no.
sides,
That's
for
how you
both
end up in the
sides.
penalty. You don't need
In the
that.
bonus,
Yeah.
in the bonus all first. It's just the first
You
quarter.
don't
They
need
don't
that.
start playing till the third anyway, right?
You don't need
But no,
that.
I think that's a
I mean,
riveting
look.
matchup. Go ahead, Lou.
No, I'm just saying that. Yeah, there's a liability with Rudy, but also the liability on defense with Luca. So, it, like you said, man, we could debate what are the pitfalls on each side, what are the advantages on each side. It's gonna be real pretty even, and this is what we expect from 3-6, 4-5.
Yeah, speaking of 4-5, man, this is the matchup I didn't want to happen because
Talk
both of
about
these
the best
teams,
team in LA. Okay, let's get
yeah,
into it.
like both of these teams are great right now. They're doing good. I did not want to see. I really wanted, really wanted Golden State to win that, so the Lakers could, you know, face the Golden State Warriors, and we get all of that going. Um, but I'll say this, man. I know we're close on time. We got to get going. I think that's going to be another great matchup for us to watch as well too. I think we're going to get a long series out of that. We're going to get a clashing of the Titans, and is Kawhi Leonard back? Is James Harden, back to James Harden of old, giving shades of the Houston Rockets? Is Denver? Jokic have enough? Jamal's back. Is he back enough to where they can push past this? All the storylines, but we won't get into it. I will say this, man. I will say this. I think that it's my opinion. I think there'll be a shakening coming from that series, depending on the results of that series. I think there'll be a shakening.
The shaking it would be if Kawhi Leonard actually plays through the entire series. I mean, you're getting 36 minutes a game from him since the All-Star break, 24-7, looking like 90% of peak Kawhi and actually playing in consecutive games. I mean, if you get a full series out of Kawhi and James Harden, with the depth of that team and Zubac, interesting matchup against Jokic, right? Nobody can stop Jokic. Don't get me wrong,
I'm about to say.
but
Yeah, I'm about to
but
say, bro.
but Zubac is listen. Zubac is fringe third team All NBA this year
No,
from as well
100%.
he's been as a center.
He's going to
So
keep Jokic honest on the defensive end. I agree with that.
yeah, and so interesting to see. Jokic, I mean, 3-time MVP, having probably the best season of his career. I mean, it'd be very interesting to see what he brings, especially into this first round of the playoffs when he knows eyes are on him. His coach was just fired, and he's been stepping up
But
since. So.
got you. I like that you
Look,
said that
man,
because that
like
takes
Shaq
us.
would say, man, barbecue chicken.
I'm happy that you said that. Ev. Good layup. On to the next one. Speaking of MVP, you said that Jokic is averaging a triple-double this season. Shea is out here as the front runner. It's been the narrative is Shea's. But I'm here to say, man, I'm going to put it out there. We're talking about awards right now. Who should get well? We're starting with the MVP. I'm sorry, bro. Shea has been great. He is the leading scorer at the NBA. He has that stat over Jokic. And also his team is playing better than the Denver Nuggets, right? They have a better record. They've been on top of the West Coast longer as well. But it's not a team award. I feel like Jokic should be a 4-time MVP. He's the MVP. He's the best player in the league. This league right now, this season. I think Jokic should get it, man.
Again, is the MVP the best player of the league, or the
Yes.
best player that means the best to the best team in the league?
Best player in the league. And I say that because
That's not what most valuable means.
when Westbrook won it, their team was what, 5th, 6th? Right? So he still was the best player in the league then because of what he was doing. But I think he got it more so because of the triple-double and how he was doing it and averaging, et cetera, right?
I was gonna say I'd argue that no season with LeBron James in his prime was Russell Westbrook the best player in the league. But continue, sir.
I mean, it was true. I'm not arguing against you, but say that to say it goes to show the whole team argument is not as strong. Is what I'm saying. Because if you give it to Russell Westbrook, then the team argument is not as strong. But for me, I think
I don't agree with that either.
I guess I'll say this: what Jokic has done is more amazing than what Shea has done. For me, what Shea has done for me is not anything I haven't seen before. It's not anything out of this world. What Jokic has done is something that we will be talking about. Something that will, to me, be more prominent in the history books than what Shea has done.
I'll let Lou go first because you're very close on his account at this moment. So,
hey, look, man, here's my honest answer. I'm okay with whoever gets it between the two. There was a year that Joker should have got it again, and it was given to Embiid. And Embiid didn't deserve it that year. Shea may, in fact, get it because of what we've seen with MVP fatigue. But no, just strictly what Joker has been doing this season is remarkable, and I think it would have solidified his case had they been a top four team, right? As they were creeping up in the season, if they ended up in the top three, I think this very well wouldn't even be a conversation. I just think that at the end of the day, so yeah, what he's done individually is a feat. You, as the best player on the best team, you're the reason why the team is the best team in the league, and that's why you should be MVP. But I'm gonna be real because I am a big Joker fan. You know what I mean? And I was on my soapbox when it was between him and Embiid, and when Embiid got it, I was like, that there was some BS, man. Joker should have got it. So again, if Joker gets it this year, I'm all with the historic year, not just for him, but in the NBA of itself. So
Listen, man, history's being made.
here for it.
Go ahead, Ev.
68 wins, one of the best offensive guard seasons since James Harden and Kobe Bryant. Jokic just had a tremendous year. He's probably the best player in the league. I'm okay with Shea getting the MVP award. I'm not going to give you a definitively analytical reason why. I just would, with two players that have had the level of season that they've had, I don't think there's a wrong answer, so to speak. And so I'll go with Shea. I will say, you said this
Especially for the
season is
past 2
something we've
years.
never seen that we'll be talking about forever. I think whether Jokic wins it or not, we'll be talking about this Jokic era in that way. So
Yeah,
I'm okay.
100%. You know what? I'll say two things real quick, and then we'll move on to another award. You say the Jokic era. I think it'll be likened to, although it looks different aesthetically, it'll be likened to how Shaq was dominant, right? I think it'll go down like that, like when Akeem had his run, right? Like I think that's where Jokic is going to be there. He's going to go down as one of the dominant
Oh,
big men ever.
he's already
If
solidified himself up there.
yeah,
Yeah.
like rings or not, if he doesn't win it, if he doesn't win another ring, he's still to me going to be up there right behind. I put him right behind Shaq. I'm going to be honest, like I put him right there.
I mean, I
Also,
put Shaq right behind Akeem, but we're not talking about that today. Keep
that's
going.
true. That's because they're matchup. But anyway, prime Shaq, prime Akeem. I don't know. I think Shaq wins out, but we'll have that discussion another day. Because when Shaq, that was young Shaq. But anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Thought, and then I'm gonna move on. I'm sorry.
Man,
Was Donovan Mitchell? Was he a snub for MVP consideration?
No.
As good as that team been? No. Okay.
there's levels
No.
to this, and Donovan Mitchell hasn't been at that level.
Okay. Cool. Say
No.
less. Moving on. NBA All First Team. NBA All First Team, y'all. We're gonna do this a little different. We're gonna see which players we're in agreement with, and then we're gonna battle out the last slot. Are we in agreement that Joker is on the NBA All First Team? Right. We're in
Well,
agreement
nah,
Shay's on an NBA All First Team. Right.
We're talking
okay.
about 3 guys.
Okay. Okay. We're NBA. Are we in agreement that Tatum is an NBA All First Team?
Now, this is where it's gonna make things tricky on us.
I'm in agreement. I think Jason Tatum.
Oh
is,
no, I'm in agreement.
Okay.
But
Are you in
wait,
agreement, Jeff?
depending on his
Oh, yeah.
no,
Okay,
but
he's in agreement.
depending on
He's in
his
agreement.
positioning.
Okay.
Nah, depending on where
You know,
he's
depending on his
categorized,
position.
so
Okay, I'll acquiesce to
that's
you
what's
guys
gonna
and
make
put
it.
him as a small forward. I'll put him as a small forward. So we have a center
Okay.
in Joker, right? We have point guard Shea, right?
Mhm.
Is Shea okay to point guard? You guys okay?
No, Shay's the
Yeah,
two.
yeah, for sure.
Shay's the guard. Shay's the guard.
Positions don't matter
don't think
anymore for all NBA.
They don't
changed it.
matter
Okay,
unless you
cool.
want them to.
Yeah, but the way the way the voting is now, it doesn't
All right,
matter
we're
anymore.
ignoring Christian because
All
positions
right,
do
we're
matter and
going
how it's been
It
going.
doesn't
Okay,
matter anymore.
So,
They can have like 4 centers if you
fine
want.
guard. Let's just leave it at guard.
guard.
Let's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
leave it at
yeah,
guard for sake
yeah.
of time.
By the way, you guys are
Because the
crazy.
way
Giannis should be first team.
Oh, Giannis, absolutely.
I'm going.
Giannis
Can I
is
get?
the
Can I
other
continue?
forward.
I'm
Can I
saying over
continue?
Tatum. I'm
I
just
was
saying over
trying.
Tatum. Just put
Christian
the
is
first top
talking.
5.
Christian, go drink your
All
wine.
right, I'll see you guys later.
We got we got Giannis in there, right? So we're agreeing Giannis is on there. Who's your shooting guard? Who is your shooting guard, or who's your other guard?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're trying to lead. You're trying
Spider.
to. You know what?
Yeah, I know.
Let me just say.
Is it Brunson?
I don't
Is it
appreciate you
Anthony
trying to
Edwards?
box my boy out by even saying who's
So
your.
Brunson's better than Anthony Edwards?
Listen, man. Yes,
What are we
yes,
talking about?
yes.
Spider.
Yes.
So I'll say
Spider.
this: had he not got hurt, it was between. It honestly was between Brunson and Mitchell for me for this reason alone. I lean towards Brunson. I think Ann is more deserving than Mitchell, but do I ignore Cleveland's season? Right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
so
That's what I was gonna say.
that's where my struggle is at.
Thank you. Finally, a reasoning. There's actual reason being stated. I look at what your contribution to your team was
Well, it is
and
all
their
NBA All
elevated
First
status.
team.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you rock with your nuances tonight, yo. I'm gonna let you rock with your nuances, yo.
So
Because
we got
there could have been an
Mitchell,
argument.
Mitchell, and Brunson. That's tough.
And Brunson's injury kind of makes it even more difficult too, because he just got across 65 this past week. Him being out the length of time that he was really took off. But I mean, that first half of the season, he was outstanding. So that's where I kind of run into issue as well. I know record doesn't matter, right? But we're talking a 1 seed, a 3 seed, and a play-in guy. Fair or not? Right? No, I'm sorry. He did. They made it out of play. And they made it to
they're not in
6.
the play-in.
So
They're not in the play-in.
they were coming into the final week of the season. So I give Ant that. They made it out of the play-in. But my argument all year was, if Ant is what we're giving him to be, why are they stuck in the play-in? So he made it out last week of the season. Brunson missed a month of the season. I'm waffling here on camera. I'm torn.
Once again, we're shading Cade. What are we doing here?
Cade did not have a better season than Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. And Pod Mamba throws in LeBron in there. Are we leaving LeBron out?
Throw it back at him. Whatever Pod Mamba.
Thank you. This is what we ignore. As a matter of fact, close the chat.
Are we leaving LeBron out? I mean, LeBron has always been a shoo-in for the most part.
Yes.
But
solid second team season from LeBron.
Solid second team. I like that.
He's a lock for second team.
Oh, he's a lock.
A lock. Okay. Second team lock.
What about James Harden?
He's a lock for consideration. For all NBA consideration.
I don't know, man. I'll say this. I'm going Ant. Ant, man, he got his team there. He pulled it together. And also, I'll give this aside. Randall affected that record, right? With Randall being out, not being healthy, adjustment to the system, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll give that to Ant, man. I think he's been playing unbelievable this season. He's changed his game. He's shooting better. Showed great improvement. I think you got to reward that, man, with NBA All First Team, man. But that's just my take on life, That's all my take on life. All right, guys. Last thoughts before we wrap up. Last 30 seconds. Anything you want to share besides happy birthday, Christian, again, man? Anything you want to share? Last 30 seconds.
Man. You know what award doesn't matter this year?
Talk to me.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Ooh. Because
there's only one person that deserves it. Adam Silver needs to make a asterisk and make an exception, because even in the 46 games that Wemby played, his stats defensively
I thought you were going to say Anthony Davis.
60 and 70 more than the two other people behind him that are current front
he
runners.
still leads the leads in blocks, even though he's been down. Also, with that 65 game rule, I saw the stat, only 29% of the players have lived up to that. So I think you bring up a good point. They're going to have to reconsider that, because what you're doing is you're margining the pool. and you're basically forcing certain players to just be kind of lock-ins for these awards. Whereas if you extended it, you'd have a bigger pool to choose from. But we'll see if that changes, though. But because 29% is a low number of the league to play and achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go ahead and see. But guys, that's all we have for today. Once again, Christian, happy birthday, brother. Have a good time. Have a blessed time. Many, many more. Wishing you many more birthdays to come.
Happy
And guys,
birthday,
thank you
my
so
guy.
much for joining us. Please make sure you hit us up on our social medias. Check us out on YouTube so you can see our beautiful faces. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. What's up, guys? Thank you for listening to the 3 on 3 podcast. Please be sure to give the episode a thumbs up if you loved it. Hit that subscribe button, and last but not least, hit that bell so that way you're notified every time we drop a new episode. Hit us up on our social media, guys. You can find us at the 3 on 3 podcast on IG and Twitter. If you want to give us any ideas or suggestions, shoot us an email at the 3 on 3 podcast @gmail.com. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys next time.